Hey, this is Scuffed RV Bonsai. In this video, I'm going to look at the Canon EOS R, thanks to Cameracraft in Rockford, Illinois for letting me try this out at their shop. The EOS R is Canon's first full-frame mirrorless camera, 30 megapixel full-frame sensor. It is most likely very similar to the 5D Mark IV sensor. Uses their new RF mount, 54mm diameter with a 20mm flange back distance. The camera has an extended ISO range from 50 to 102,400. There are 5,655 focus pixels on the camera. It is a lot of focusing points. 1/8,000th of a second maximum shutter speed and 1/200th of a second for flashing speed. Video wise, you do have 4K, but it's at a large 1.83x crop, 1080p 60 frames a second, and 720p 120 frames a second. There is clean HDMI output at a high bitrate. I'll be comparing this camera a little bit to the Canon EOS M50. I have those for my video and photo work, and also the Z7 that I tried out recently from Nikon. Body and ergonomics wise, very dense, solid feeling camera. I actually prefer the grip on this camera from all of the mirrorless cameras, especially full frame that I've tried. A little bit taller than the Z7. There's a 100% view 0.76x electronic viewfinder. It's up to the current standards, nothing especially interesting about it. The OnOff Switch is a dial in this case on the left of the camera from the back. I actually prefer this over my M50's switch. It's nothing to snag on, it's rounded. It actually works pretty well. One of the more unusual ergonomic features of this camera is the MFN Slider. It's basically a little touch bar where you can slide settings to the left or right and use the left or right sides. So in this case, I just tried it out with ISO, the pretty standard one. You can set it to auto ISO on one side or 6400 on the other, as I did. Works relatively well. It seems a little laggy. I'm not sure if there's a really great use case for this yet. I just haven't tried it out too much. There's a dedicated video button. In any mode, you can use that to record a clip. Battery wise, it's an LP E6N battery. If you do use the N style batteries, you can use the older ones as well, but the N style will give you charging in the camera if you have a properly spec'd charger through the USB port. Camera does have the Wi-Fi Bluetooth connectivity. I'm a big fan of Canon's app. I use it a lot for my video work with the M50s and the M100 camera. There is a screen on the top of the camera. It's a little small but very bright and easy to see. It works in tandem with the mode button and mode dial, also the info button. So when you want to change modes, you press the mode button, adjust the dial. To get into video modes, you'll press the mode button, push the info button, and then it'll give you those video specific options. It works well in practice, however it's not quite as fast as if you were to have dedicated dials for all of those settings. Ports wise, you have the mic port, headphone port, which is important for some people, also mini HDMI and the USB-C port. There is one UHS-2 card slot in the camera for SD cards. There is the AF on button. It's in an unusual spot. That will depend on you and your hands if it works out well or not. It was a little strange for me personally. The adapter adjustment seems very basic. I didn't notice any type of locking mechanism or anything, so I actually prefer the Z7 in that case. It works quite a bit better. It has a lock to it. I did try a quick vlogging test, a few loops around this one section of the camera shop. Seems to work well. You got that great fully articulating screen, so this is a big feature of the camera. However, the EOS R is not a lightweight camera. You'll definitely want to build up your arms for this situation. So let's talk about some settings and features of the camera. Compared to my M50, this camera has a lot of auto ISO settings that are very helpful. You can set the minimum shutter speed, which I wish the M50 had. So it's good that this more advanced camera does have those options. As an alternative to using the top and back dials to change your focus point, you do have the touch and drag AF feature. My M50 has this feature. It's very useful for doing quick focus point adjustment when you're doing some type of tracking on your own. Very helpful feature. You have to turn on the feature and you can set the entire screen or an area, relative area of the screen to use your thumb on. In my case, I like the top left. When you're focusing, it has to be up to your eye, and then you use your thumb or whatever to adjust that focus point. Now, I did notice in this camera it's laggier than my M50. It's probably because there are just so many focusing points. You do have the C1, C2, and C3 custom settings. It's all in the mode area of the camera. So you can use those standard ways to adjust mode to get to these custom settings as well. You can switch the direction of so many dials. You can adjust settings for a lot of the buttons. There's a huge amount of customizability with this camera. There is a silent shutter mode on the camera, very helpful feature for wedding photographers or anyone that wants to take photos without making a large click from the shutter. In this case, you will hear the aperture make a slight noise while taking the photo. So let's talk about a few of the quirks again in a little bit of detail. First, you've got the one card slot. That will really depend on you if it's an issue or not. There are some more advanced, higher quality SD cards out there or will be coming out from Sony and such. You have the AF on button, which seems to be in an odd position. That again will depend on you if it works well. You have the slider control, which I'm not really sure. It seems a little laggy at the moment. Maybe in firmware they can improve that. There's zero compatibility with the AFM system. I have no reason to buy RF lenses as I am now. I do think EF lenses, and to a smaller degree the EFS lenses, are basically the bridge for all of Canon's systems. If you want the most compatible piece of glass, you want to get an EF lens. I wasn't able to test out the RF 35mm f1.8 lens. I'm not really sure how small it is in practice, but I did use the EF 50mm f1.8 STM with the adapter, and that was a very nice fit for the camera. My final thoughts on the camera: the entry price is a little higher than the Z6. Considering the features of both cameras, I think the Z6 is a little more compelling, especially for people that aren't into the Canon system. There are many hints of Canon's AFM system in this camera. If you want something super small with a lot of those features like the flip screen, the dual pixel autofocus, I think the AFM system is a great option in that case. From a video specification standpoint, this camera lags behind the competition. I really think it's because Canon's sensor technology at this current point in time just really can't get those full sensor readouts. Now, I do expect the next camera from them to have a new sensor, hopefully. Until then, this is what they have available. Dual pixel autofocus is hard to beat. It just works really well, both in photos and videos. I'm a huge fan of this grip, definitely the best that I've used of a mirrorless full frame so far. Although some of the other features like the MFN Slider, kind of an odd way to go about things. As I mentioned with the Z7 hands-on video, I think these two cameras, and even to a higher degree this camera, are best for slower types of photography, the methodical types of photography, landscape work, studio work, situations where you don't need to care about the single card slot. You've got 30 megapixels, which is more than enough for many situations. Great sensor from a photographic standpoint. The 5D Mark IV, I think this is actually a better option in so many different ways than that camera outside of the 2 card slots. So that was the Canon EOS R. Again, thanks to Cameracraft for letting me try this out at the shop. If you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. Helps me out a lot. Likes and shares about a lot as well. Thanks again.